In our last discussion, we were understanding what is the minor difference or the basic difference between enthalpy of a reaction and enthalpy of a formation. Enthalpy of a reaction is a general phrase, whereas enthalpy of a formation is a particular phrase. Both use the same meaning. Basic difference is enthalpy of a reaction is applied for all types of reactions. What enthalpy change is there? To calculate that, we use enthalpy of a reaction phrase. Whereas in the case of enthalpy of a formation, we pinpoint, we concentrate, we highlight on to form 1 mole of a particular substance from its constituent elements. How much energy change is there? That is called enthalpy of a formation. So after understanding the basic difference between enthalpy of a reaction and enthalpy of a formation, today we are going to discuss one more small bit. Okay, so before that, let me clarify a small point. We have studied that the enthalpy of reaction is the difference in the enthalpy of products and reactants depending upon the nature of a particular reaction or the nature of the change which the species in reaction undergo. The enthalpies of the reactions have been given different names. That means today we are going to discuss on different types of enthalpies of reactions. So my dear students, I welcome you all for the today's session on different types of enthalpies of reactions. Many are there. So enthalpy of formation, enthalpy of atomization, and so on. But we will highlight, we will discuss in brief what is required this year. Okay, right. First is enthalpy of combustion. The name itself indicates for combustion how much enthalpy or what are the enthalpy changes. That is called enthalpy of combustion. But important point is 1 mole. Okay, when you burn 1 mole of a fuel completely, okay, whatever enthalpy changes are there, that is called as the enthalpy of combustion. Okay, so enthalpy of a combustion is negative because whenever a fuel undergoes combustion, amount of heat is liberated. So it is exothermic in nature. Therefore, delta H is negative. One example I give is what? Example of combustion of methane. Okay, and the common combustible products are carbon dioxide and water. Okay, and when you burn 1 mole of methane, the amount of heat energy given out is minus 890.3 kilojoules per mole. Slightly this will vary from data to data and book to book. Next is what? Enthalpy of atomization. Atomization, making atoms, creating atoms. Okay, so when it is a molecule, we'll make it a atom. Or you, if the atom is in the solid state, we will take solids to the liquid state, liquid to the gaseous state, gas to the ionization state. Okay, so that all comes into the what? Enthalpy of atomization. So to deal with atoms at the macroscopic level, there are some enthalpy changes. That is called as what? Enthalpy of atomization. The heat absorbed when 1 mole of gaseous atoms is formed from its element. Okay, so because when it wants to convert from element to the atoms, naturally you have to supply a lot of energy because element is the one which is made up of a similar kind of atoms. Now all the atoms have to be separated now. So to separate, that is in one way you are dissociating, you are breaking. Okay, you are decomposing element into its constituent atoms. For this, we have to supply energy. Therefore, delta H is positive. Now, bond energy or bond enthalpy. Enthalpy energy very close. Okay, I told in the previous session was what basic difference is there by taking the example of what? Petrol. Okay, right. Bond energy is the amount of energy required to break a given bond. Likewise, when the same amount of energy is evolved, then that bond is when that bond is formed. Okay, bond energy values can be used to calculate the enthalpy change of a reaction. When a bond is formed, the bond energy is assigned a negative value, indicating energy is lost. When a bond is broken, the bond energy assigned a positive value because it is indicating the energy gained. Okay. So, what you want to convey here? You want to convey bond energy is the energy required to make and break bond. That is called, in a simple sense, bond energy or the bond enthalpy. And using the knowledge or the data of bond enthalpies or the bond energies, we will calculate enthalpy change of a reaction. Okay. See how to calculate enthalpy change or change enthalpy of a chemical reaction. There are two ways. One way is what? One way is either you can go for total enthalpy change of the products minus the total enthalpy change of the reactants. This I told in our previous session. Now, using the bond enthalpy, using the bond energy, okay, that time what you do, what is how much energy requires to break the bond first. When the bonds are broken, then only you can go for the making new bonds. No? So, whenever you want to carry out any chemical reaction, first and foremost duty is to break the bond. When the bond is broken, they are separated. Then something new is formed depend upon the conditions. Okay. So change in the enthalpy is also calculated by the help of what? Bond enthalpies or the bond energies. For that, what is the formula? The total bond energy required to break a bond on the reactant side minus the total energy required to make a bond on the RHS on the product side. That gives you the enthalpy change of a reaction. Either you can use data from bond enthalpy, okay, or you will go for the total uh, change enthalpy of the products and reactants. Anyone you can follow. Okay, now bond enthalpy is made more clear here. Okay, depend upon the type of a molecule. See, bond enthalpy in thermodynamics, especially in chemistry, is divided into two parts: bond dissociation enthalpy, mean bond enthalpy. What is a bond dissociation enthalpy? Dissociate, separate, break, decompose. Okay. So here, bond is dissociated. So because of dissociation of the bond, atoms separates. Okay. That means this word we use whenever it is a diatomic. Whether the diatomic is the same or different. H2, Cl2, N2, they're all molecules of an element. There one bond is there. HH, that bond is there. OO, double bond is there. NN, triple bond is there. Okay. And Cl, single bond is there. So to separate that bond, how much energy is required? And to make the same bond, how much energy is required? So that all comes under what? Bond dissociation enthalpy, because only one bond is there, whether it is single bond, double bond, triple bond, only one bond is there between the two atoms. So in that condition, better we will use the word bond dissociation enthalpy. If we use bond enthalpy, no problem. Okay. The more correct way is what? Whenever we are referring to diatomic molecules, that time the better word is bond dissociation enthalpy. Then when we use the mean bond enthalpy, when a particular molecule is reacting, where molecule is made up of more than two, ammonia, methane, okay, that time that is reacting to someone. So to break the in methane there are four CH bond. So first you break one CH bond, then second CH bond, then third CH bond, then fourth CH bond. Do we think that energy required for all the CH bond is same? Because CH bond is same, no? There are four CH bond, all are similar. Can we expect a similar energy to break all the four CH bond in the case of methane? Not at all. No. Why? Because when first CH bond breaks, it converts into what? Different chemical atmosphere. For example, if H is lost from the methane, it becomes a CH3 plus. That CH3 plus is what? It is different atmosphere compared to the CH4. So now you remove, now you break the second CH bond. No, that time you require not the same energy what you required in the first case. So that means whenever you are breaking the same bond, CH bond only, bond enthalpy differs. It is because of what? Different chemical environment, different chemical atmosphere created there. Okay, that's why. So we will calculate how much energy required for all the four different types of bond enthalpy. Then we will add divide by 4. That gives the average bond enthalpy or mean bond enthalpy. Okay. So whenever it is a diatomic molecule, The best word, please use bond dissociation enthalpy when it is more than 2. So better word is what? Either mean bond enthalpy or average bond enthalpy. This is the bond dissociation enthalpy for all the varieties of bonds here. Okay, this is only data. No need to have it. These are given in the examination. Okay, right. Now, the HH bond is only found in H2 and its bond dissociation energy is plus 436 kilojoules per mole. However, bonds such as CH exist in different compounds and have a slightly different bond dissociation enthalpy in each case. That time the question of or the importance of mean bond enthalpy comes here. Okay, so the mean bond enthalpy is the average bond dissociation enthalpy for a particular bond in a range of different compounds. Precisely, it is the average enthalpy change for breaking 1 mole of a particular bond in a range of different compounds in the gas phase. Okay, always in the gas phase we carry out because it is easy to work, it is easy to handle. Okay, so uh, using the mean bond enthalpy takes into account the different bond dissociation enthalpies of the particular bond in different compounds. Okay, right. Now here, so to explain, to understand mean bond enthalpy, I have taken here methane. Okay, so when methane comes into CH3 plus H, so this first CH bond breaks 435. Now CH3 to CH2, see it is more energy because plus is created. So from the plus area, taking out the electron is very difficult. So like that. Okay. Now here it is less energy requires compared to this one. It is because it is highly unstable. CH2 is a highly unstable. It want to go for either CH4 or better CH3 or that means wherever more instability is there, suddenly they will undergo change. That time we require less energy. Already it is unstable. Now still when we supply little energy, it will break. Okay, so there are some reasons why decrease, increase in the bond enthalpy for every CH bond is there. Okay, so like that to break 4 different CH bonds, these are the 4 what different bond enthalpies. Okay, now excuse me. Now, what is the average bond enthalpy of the CH? You please add all these 4. Okay, then divide by 4. Why 4? 4 CH bonds are there. Therefore, answer is 413 kilojoules per mole. So, the mean bond enthalpy of CH in methane is 413 kilojoules per mole. It is in methane. Please remember. So, the mean bond enthalpy of CH in methane is 413 kilojoules per mole. If you see CH bond in the alcohol, if you see CH bond in the many other hydrocarbons, this bond enthalpy is not the same. Their chemical atmosphere, chemical arrangement, chemical structure is different. Okay. Here, in the case of methane, it is 413 kilojoules per mole. Okay. So it depends upon the chemical atmosphere. I told, I am repeating once again, though the bond is the same, CH bond only, but depends upon the in what condition it is there, in what atmosphere it is there. So, and the energy is required. Okay, right. Now lattice enthalpy. So lattice is what? Lattice is the regular arrangement of ions in 3D. So this word is applied for ionic compounds. Whenever ionic compounds are formed, that time we use the word lattice because lattice itself is what? Lattice is the regular arrangement of ions in the 3D. That is called lattice. And to arrange these ions in the 3D, we require some energy, and that is called what? Lattice enthalpy. And same amount of energy required to break all those ions from the structure. Okay, this already we learned in the chemical bonding chapter. Okay, right. So for sodium chloride, it is minus 787 kilojoules per mole. When 1 mole of sodium chloride forms, minus 787 kilojoules per mole uh, of energy is released, and same amount of energy is supplied to separate the 1 mole of sodium chloride ions. Now, enthalpy of hydration. The enthalpy of hydration, delta H hide. See, delta H is common, only here it differs. Is the enthalpy change when 1 mole of separated gaseous ions is dissolved completely in water to form 1 mole of aqueous ions. That means to dissolve 1 mole of ions in water, whatever enthalpy change is there, that is called as enthalpy of hydration. It is exothermic because ions are dissolving with the interactions of the water molecule. Therefore, active ions will make a what interactions with the water molecule, which is polar. At the time they will merge, they will dissolve, and extra energy is given out. That's why it is hydration enthalpy is exothermic in nature. Now, enthalpy of a solution. The enthalpy of a solution delta H SOLN is the enthalpy change when 1 mole of an ionic substance dissolves in enough water to ensure ions are well separated and do not interact with one another. That means when 1 mole of ionic substance, okay, the ions, okay, so they will dissolve in a particular solvent in such a way that all those ions are separated. Now, no relation at all. I am separated. That condition, to attain that condition, to go to that condition, how much energy changes are there, what all enthalpy changes are there, that is called enthalpy of a solution. That means to make a solution, whatever enthalpy changes are there, that is called enthalpy of a solution. Here, using formula, so we can calculate enthalpy of a solution is equal to enthalpy of lattice and enthalpy of hydration. So that means first you have to break the lattice into different constituent ions. Then that time you mix in the water. Afterwards you will get the solution. So enthalpy of a solution is the combination of what? Lattice enthalpy and hydration enthalpy. Then only you will calculate the lattice what solution enthalpy. Okay, right. See an example, taking the sodium chloride. Right. This is what? Lattice enthalpy to separate the ions. First it is a 3D picture, 3D that is separated. Now in water, okay. So that is this one. So this is total. Okay, all together when these two are added, whatever difference here. So heat of solution or enthalpy of solution for NaCl, for 1 mole of NaCl is plus 4 kilojoules. Okay, small amount of energy is absorbed in going for the sodium chloride solution from the sodium chloride powder. Okay, now all these enthalpies are there now. So these enthalpies are calculated using a special formula given by two famous scientists, Born and the Fritz Haber. Okay, so they have done by the calculation method also, by the graphical method also, and using some ray diagram. Okay, so that the cycle is called what? Born Haber cycle. So Born Haber cycle is the method to calculate enthalpy changes in a chemical reaction, especially the lattice enthalpy. Okay, how much energy is required to make a lattice or to break a lattice. Okay, so that is called Born-Haber cycle. So using this Born-Haber cycle, we will come to know the stability. So more the lattice enthalpy, then more stability is, because when the lattice enthalpy is more, very difficult to break. That's why it is more stable. So from the Born-Haber cycle, if we calculate the lattice enthalpy, and if it is more than the one which we are for the comparative purpose, that time the first one is more stable than the second one. Like that, we can take the conclusions. Okay, right. So this Born-Haber cycle is the very, very important from the knowledge point as well as from the exam point. Definitely, one question will be there on Born-Haber cycle. Let us understand this Born-Haber cycle. Taking example of what? Sodium chloride. Right? Okay. Please see here. When sodium reacts with half chlorine molecule, okay, so one NaCl forms. Okay, to form 1 mole of NaCl, okay, what is the enthalpy of formation? It is minus 411.2 kilojoules per mole. Okay, so this is one route. In this way, it is formed. Or you can go by this route also. This how this route? First, Na solid is made as Na gas. Okay, then Na gas is made as ion. Okay, or this is kept now constant now. Now the role of what? Chlorine. Chlorine gas becomes the chlorine gas to chlorine what? Ion. So that chlorine ion is here. Okay, chlorine is here. That means we have converted the Na to Na ion, Cl molecule to the Cl ion. When these two will combine, that is whatever energy requires to combine lattice enthalpy. This is lattice enthalpy. In this way, NaCl forms either by the direct combination of the two constituent elements. This is called enthalpy of formation, or via this solid to the gas atomization, ionization enthalpy, electron affinity. Okay, all those lattice enthalpy, right? So when you combine all these you will get the same answer or by direct way. Okay. So this is what how Bohr-Haber cycle is used to calculate the bond enthalpies. This is in a diagrammatic way. See, from here we have started. So ultimately we reach the formation of sodium chloride here in one way or the other way. So it is one kind of cycle. Therefore, it is called what? Bohr-Haber cycle. Now, exactly with the calculations. Okay. Now, first, Na plus half Cl2 combines and give this much. This is what? Approximately 410.9 kilojoules per mole. This is called enthalpy of formation, delta HF. Now, reverse to separate, this is called 410, same energy. Only thing is plus sign, minus sign. Okay. Now, Na solid to Na gas, this is called what? Enthalpy of vaporization. When it is solid, it is going to the vapor state, gaseous state. So it is called vaporization. This much energy is required. Okay. Now, once the gas is free, that sodium is in the gaseous state. Now you make into the ion. That time you have to remove the electron, outermost electron. No, that is called what? Ionization enthalpy. So this is what converting Na gas to Na ion, known as the ionization enthalpy. For this is the energy requirement. Now, chlorine, it is a chlorine molecule. Let us break it. This is called as the bond enthalpy of chlorine. So that is 121.7 kilojoules per mole. Once the chlorine is broken into chlorine gas, then that gas you have to make into the ion. So here to make the chlorine to ion, it has to accept. In the case of sodium, it has to lose. So it was called as what? Ionization enthalpy. But in the case of chlorine, it will not lose because it gains. That depends upon what? Nature of the electronic configuration. Therefore, gaining electron by atom is called what? Electron affinity or electron gain enthalpy. For that, it is what? Minus 349 kilojoules per mole. Now, what happens here? You please add 1 to 5. All these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is what? 787. That means 787 kilojoules per mole is the energy what required to separate 1 mole of NaCl into Na plus ion and a Cl minus ion. Okay, separately. But same energy required to form 1 mole of sodium chloride. That is called minus 787 kilojoules per mole. This is to make and this is to break. Okay. So either you can do by this way or using the previous Bohr-Haber cycle. Okay, right. Now, what is the heat of solution in this case? Already I told. One more sample here. Okay, right. So with this, we have studied today a variety of enthalpies, and in the fourth conversations, we will go to the last part of thermodynamics. Till then, don't leave it, don't give up. Okay, so keep thinking, and we have to think differently. Why? Because nowadays time has come to work not hardly, time has come to work smartly. So let us work smartly. So we'll go for the smart work so that we'll achieve more in less time. That is our goal. So wishing this. Have a nice time and thank you and all.